Welcome to the Accelerated Investor Podcast with Josh Cantwell. If you love entrepreneurship and investing in real estate, then you are in the right place. Josh is the CEO of Freeland Ventures Real Estate Private Equity and has personally invested in well over 500 properties all across the country. He's also made hundreds of private lender loans and owns over 1,000 units of apartments. Josh is an expert at raising private money for deals, and he prides himself on never having had a boss in his entire adult life. Josh and his team also mentor investors and entrepreneurs from all over the world. He doesn't dream about doing deals. He actually does them, and so do his listeners and students. Now sit back, listen, learn, and accelerate your business, your life, and your investing with the Accelerated Investor Podcast.
Hey, welcome back to Accelerated Investor. I'm excited to be with you. We are deep right now. We're all in with 2 feet. We are deep into our discussion around the 5 steps to getting all the capital you need for all the deals you want. This is actually a 10-part series. So we've done a couple different episodes on what is a private lender, what are the SEC rules and regulations, why we hate the stock market, right? We've done some of those episodes. And right now we're on episode number 8 in this series. And it's step number 4. Create a regular, recurring, multi-medium marketing plan, okay? And so when I think about private money, people don't invest from, a website. They don't invest from a social media post. They don't invest from spam emails. They don't invest on, some crowdfunding platforms unless they're really comfortable with their investment. And so what I've focused on is building relationships with people. Okay, over the last 3-4 episodes, over this entire podcast, it's all about relationships. I want to have interpersonal relationships with everybody who invests with me. I want to get to know them on a personal level, share with them, talk to them about their investments, talk about how it impacts their life. And so as we build this relationship, then we're just not really sure exactly when they're going to be ready to invest. So we need to stay top of mind. We need to stay top of mind so that when they think about real estate investing, they think of us. Okay, when they think about, am I going to invest on an active basis, a passive basis? Am I going to deploy $50,000 or $500,000 or $5 million? We want them to think of you. We want you to be the top of mind reference, the person that they think about when they think of real estate, because they may not be liquid today, but they may be liquid in 6 months or liquid in 2 years. Okay, so step number 4 is to craft and deploy a multi-medium marketing approach so that we can stay in front of those people that we have relationships with. And so some things to consider. Okay. Now, we're going to talk in episode number 10, it's coming up. We're going to talk about the SEC and the different regulations and the what's called the registration exemptions that you need to have in order to successfully recruit private money. We're going to talk about that in episode 10, so make sure you join me for that. But let's assume that you start with what we call your Project 100. Your Project 100 is 100 people that already you know, that you like, that you trust, that you already have relationships with. You write down their name, email, phone number, and physical address, and you create your first database. Okay? Now, you might say like, oh, I don't want to start with my friends and family. Okay? Well, let me talk to you about that. When I was at Northwestern Mutual, and I started in my financial services career, Northwestern Mutual is one of the top 10 internships in the country. Okay? If you look at Gary Keller's book, The 1%, if you look at a lot of sales organizations, they all teach you around real estate, being a realtor, being an investor. They all teach you to start with your sphere, the people that already know, like, and trust you. If you're going to be a realtor, you start with your sphere. If you're going to be a real estate investor, you start with your sphere, right? So who are the top 100 people that are in your sphere? Because I'll tell you right now, if you can't recruit money from people that are already in your sphere, that already know you, like you, trust you, have relationships with, you're never going to recruit a nickel of private money from a stranger. Okay, if you look at Uber, you look at Facebook, you look at Google, they all lift. They all started with a friends and family offering. They all started with a friends and family offering. They offered stock or units, equity in their business. They recruited capital, and those friends and family now are rich. They're rich beyond belief, okay? And so step number 4 is to create a multimedia marketing plan. So once you have that group of investors, it could be active investors, passive investors, friends and family, people from your homeowners association that you know, people from your, maybe you're part of a charitable organization, maybe you go to different industry functions, you already know them, like them, trust them, you have relationships with them. Now you got to create a regular recurring marketing approach to keep them top of mind, right? So that when they think about real estate, they think of you. When you are thinking about a deal that you want to recruit money for, they think of you, okay? So this multimedia approach could include things like, 1, email broadcasts, okay? Sending out information to educate them about your deals, educate them about past closed deals, educate them about your industry, educate them about what's going on with the market, the real estate market. Is it going up? Is it going down? The way we invest in real estate doesn't really matter because we buy at wholesale prices always. So, but that's a different podcast for some other time. But so email broadcasts. So we send out a regular recurring email broadcast every single Tuesday. We call it a funding opportunity. Okay? It goes out to people that we have existing relationships with, and we send that out every Tuesday. Not because we think people are going to invest from it, but because we want to stay top of mind. And we always send a past closed deal, a deal that's already been filled, whether it's an apartment, whether it's a single family property, whether it's a fix and flip, because we want to make sure that we have an existing relationship with them. We don't want to just solicit the public, a general solicitation from an email. Okay, we want to make sure that we send a past deal, because in case it slips into the hands of somebody that we don't have a relationship with, we don't want to look like we're soliciting money from people that we don't know, okay? So we send a funding opportunity out every single Tuesday. We make social media posts. Now, the social media posts aren't to recruit money. There's no call to action to invest with us. We don't describe the offer. We don't describe the interest rate. We don't describe the minimums. We don't describe the maximums or the lockup period or anything like that. We just simply talk about a real estate deal that we've already closed. We funded this deal. We funded that deal. We bought this property. We bought that property. Okay? Here's how much money we made. We flipped this house, et cetera, et cetera. So social media post is an easy one. Now, if you've got a database of people that you already have relationships with, you could hold let's say a monthly webinar where on the 3rd week of every month, you host a webinar, and that webinar showcases some of your deal flow, your apartments, your one-off deals, your rentals, your rehabs, whatever it is. You could host a webinar. You could use GoToMeeting. You could use Zoom. We use Zoom.com or Zoom.us, I think it is, for all of our classes. So we can do a screen share, and we could share slides, and we can do an interview. That's another way for you to stay in front of those people. I do this podcast, all right? This podcast is really about building relationships with people. It's about you. It's about me giving value, giving back, paying it forward, right? That's another strategy of a multimedia marketing approach. In addition, every other month, we send a physical newsletter. We actually print off a physical newsletter. I was looking around my office for those of you that might catch this on YouTube to see if I have one. It's probably in the other room, but we send out a physical newsletter. Physical newsletter basically just showcases deals that we've closed, talks a little bit about our business, some fun and cool, exciting pictures from our live events and from deals that we're closing, or different places that we've been with our team, or even some personal photos. It talks about deals that we funded for other people through our private equity fund. It talks about and there's examples in there. It talks about some of the different organizations that we sponsor, like the Deal Makers meet up every month with the Homevestors Association, or the Homevestors franchisees, the Great Lakes REIA, the Akron Canton REIA, all these, the Lake Erie Landlords Association, the Home Builders Association, all these different groups that we sponsor, okay? And so really, really cool, exciting stuff. We put it in a physical newsletter and physically mail it out every other month. So it hits their physical house. Like, I don't know about you, but I don't really get any junk mail anymore. What I get is a bunch of spam junk email. I don't really get much snail mail. I get, a couple coupons here and there. And certainly around the holidays, around Christmas time, we get a bunch of flyers for Dick's Sporting Goods and the local mall and, all the different stores and this and that. But on a daily basis, I just don't get as much junk mail as I used to. I don't know about you, but I don't. So I physically send out a physical newsletter so that I have a multimedia marketing plan, and I'm hitting them email marketing, webinar, podcast, physical mail. Then I also email out our newsletter in a PDF version, a digital version. Okay? And all of this traffic, right, I'm just pointing back to me. I'm giving them my email, I'm giving them my physical or personal phone number, telling them if they have a question about actively investing in real estate or passively investing in real estate, just give me a call. I don't want to send them to a website and have them opt in. I want it to be way more personal, way more, of a personal relationship. So I give out my phone number, I give out my cell phone number, my email. I encourage people to call me, email me if they have any questions. Okay, so the question now is in step number 4, once you have your irresistible offer, that was step 1. Once you have your ideal investor or your avatar, that's step 2. Once you've identified where your ideal investor can be found and you go to those places to collect business cards and make relationships, step number 4 is to deploy this multimedia marketing approach so that you can be the top of mind, the person that they think about when they think about real estate. That's step number 4. So I hope you enjoyed that, and we're going to move on now to step number 5, which is to follow a proven sales process. Join me for that solo cast next.
You've been listening to Josh Cantwell and the Accelerated Investor Podcast. Leave a comment on our iTunes channel and let us know what you want to learn next or who you'd like Josh to interview. While you're there, give us a 5-star rating and make sure to subscribe so you can be the first to hear new episodes. Follow Josh Cantwell and his companies, Strategic Real Estate Coach and Freeland Ventures, on all social media platforms now, and stay up to date on new training and investment opportunities to start your journey toward the lifestyle you've always dreamed of. Apply for coaching at joshcantwellcoaching.com.